You are now watching Brew News, your number one source in world news. Go f*** yourself.
Yo, what is up, loyal viewers of Brew News? We are returning with a all-new special episode of Brew News after the fall of the EU. We'll be looking at the changing landscape. This just in, we are getting word of an invasion of the UK. Oh my god. Let's see what's going on. Oh my god, they just nuked the UK. This news anchor has never seen such disregard for human life as we witnessed August 9th, 2036. A day that will live in infamy. God save the Queen. We are now seeing Chinese panzer units just Swiss cheesing through the UK. This does not look like it is going to take long at all. I would have to assume that they are going to be calling in reinforcements anytime now. This just in, more Chinese panzer divisions have landed. The south of England is mostly cleared out already. London has fallen. Look at the... They stand no chance against... Let's just... Can we pause this feed real quick? This right here is what training in the power of the Chode technique gets you. If you can sit there and slug yourself in the nuts with a brick, you can take over the UK no problem. Let that be a life lesson to you guys. The ass kicking is just continuing, and another, oh my god, another panzer army has just landed. The south is completely cleared. There is no hope at this point for the British. The sun has finally set on the British Empire. This could be the final moments of the British Empire. You are watching history being made right here. I've never seen an ass kicking so thorough and yet so quick at the same time. Boom! The United Kingdom has capitulated. Have you ever seen the UK get a mudhole stomped in them? As quick as that, I don't think so. That is a record. This just in with a surprise attack on their ally. Ladies and gentlemen, their ally, China, has invaded North Korea. There is nobody that is safe from the power of the Chode at this point. They are even taking out their own allies. I don't even know what this means as a newscaster. The North Korean capital of Pyongyang is just about to fall. Wrapping it up for North Korea. A boom! North Korea has capitulated. This just in at Brew News, we are getting word that an attack on the Swiss is imminent. First their allies in North Korea, now the longtime neutral country. Once again, nobody is safe from the power of the Chode. The Chinese army has gone quite mad with the power of the Chode. From the satellite imagery we are getting right now, the Swiss are actually putting up a better fight than anybody in the world would have imagined. Although the world basically consists of North and South America and Africa. Everything else is power of the Chode territory. Yeah, the Swiss are putting up a defense. Can you believe this? This is actually pretty amazing. They are slowly losing territory, but I don't think anybody in the world would have expected this much resistance to the Chode. In fact, the EU hardly put up this much resistance. Can we get some statistics here? Where are the Swiss? They've lost 35,000. Grand total of losses, 7.7 million, 32 million. Fielded army, just a million less. Not too bad. The Swiss continue their resistance, but China is calling an all-in order. This can't be good. You know what? The Swiss do have quite a few units. Of course, it is 2037. They've had more than enough time to build up a massive army. We are just now getting word in that Cuba wants to join the Power of the Chode faction. We are getting breaking news in. A delegation has been sent from China to Cuba to train them in the Power of the Chode. It is a match made in Chode training heaven. Probably going to get wrecked by the US for that move, but you gotta respect the Chode on those guys. The Swiss are still holding on somehow. With Zurich and Bern, they are not giving up. You have to respect these people. Well, actually, you don't. Yeah, just forget about that. You do not have to respect them. Cuba, shortly after joining the Power of the Chode, just took over Guantanamo Bay from the US. Amazing, great ally the Cubans have become. The Power of the Chode training has definitely trained them well. I thought they had already joined us a long time ago. Breaking news out of Switzerland. They have finally capitulated. No one expected them to last that long. Amazing. We are getting a breaking news in here at Brew News. The Chinese have now... Oh! The humanity. The Chinese have nuked Belfast. What in the hell is going on? The Chinese, as you can tell, have invaded Ireland, finishing off what is left of the British troops stationed there, as well as a contingent of EU troops. There's just no stopping the Power of the Chode. Not only can they nuke you, but then they can set in the fallout with no problems whatsoever. That is what Chode training gives you. And just like that, the campaign in Ireland is wrapping up. Took but a few days for highly trained Power of the Chode units. I don't think there's anybody left in this world that can stop the Chinese army. That is just the opinion of this news anchor. I might start learning Mandarin. This just in here at Brew News. Chinese troops have invaded South Korea. It is not looking good for the South Koreans. They have already lost half their territory. Although it appears like they're breaking out right here. I don't know what's happening. You'd have to ask the Chinese military that. I'm just a news reporter. I don't know what's going on. An update to a news story we had brought to you earlier. South Korea is still under the gun by Chinese troops. They have pinned them to the western coast along with their Japanese and American, Canadian, I think that's it. Yeah, Japanese, American, and Canadian allies. After this, one can only guess what country would be next. And that country would be Japan. They had better start preparing their defenses and building their nuclear fallout shelters. Breaking news out of Korea. They are just about done. They have lost their capital. The last major city holding on is Busan, which is probably not going to be there much longer. It is, as they say in the news agencies, a godforsaken bloodbath. And a boom! Korean Republic has capitulated. Through this news anchor's vast knowledge of this 40-year war, I could only guess Japan is going to be invaded next. Along with the US. This is about to get real. This just in, out of South America, the Chinese have landed and they are wrecking Suriname on their way through northern South America, through Central America, for that inevitable meetup with the US, for which they have developed 600 nukes. It is definitely going to be a nuclear winter in the US when the Chinese arrive. A boom! Suriname has capitulated. Brazil has realized the power of the Chode, and they have given up 11 of their divisions in a hope, in a prayer not to be attacked by the amazing Chode army. I think they're safe. Nobody wants to go through those rainforests. The Chinese army has now declared on Guyana. Nobody is even getting tweets anymore. President Xi and his amazing Chode has given up. I think he just told his army, go wherever. Attack whoever you want. Each individual general, you can do what you want. As long as you carry the power of the Chode, no one can wreck you. It's like carrying the Ark of the Covenant into battle. This just in, the Chinese are now nuking the rainforest. What did the rainforests ever do against you guys? You would think an army that can smash bricks against their Chode could be able to work out their problems with the rainforest, but no. They resort to nuking it. A boom! Guyana has capitulated. The rainforests could no longer take it. Treebeard was done. Oh no! Our Cuban bros have capitulated. The US took them out. I did not even see what was going on. This just in, the Chinese army has now launched an attack into Venezuela, and there we go again with the nukes. Do they not understand that they have to walk through that? Do they not understand that this could affect their training regiment? Nuclear fallout is not good for the Chode. So I have heard. Zooming out, our satellite imagery show us that the Chinese advance has halted momentarily. Oh my god! As President Xi lost his godforsaken mind, he just nuked the entirety of Venezuela. I think the power of the Chode training has finally drove him completely nuts. He is completely insane. Oh, boom! Venezuela has now capitulated. Let's take a look, if we can, at our updated statistics. The Chinese army has lost 12.5 million. The EU and NATO forces have lost almost 40 million and are now fielding an army 1 million less than the Chinese have fielded. This just in, China has now launched an attack. Oh, and who could have guessed it? They started out with a huge nuclear attack along the front line, killing everything in its wake, ruining life for the next couple thousand years. Thanks a lot, Chinese. I mean, the nuclear attack, and that's just how quick they capitulate when you drop about 50 nukes on them. You may have won, but really, President Xi, what have you won except a planet completely wrecked with nuclear fallout? The Chinese army has just declared on Panama. I would be very surprised if they didn't start out with a massive nuclear assault. Needless lives lost. The planet is going to end up dead, and for what? And for what, I ask? Because of one man's chode. This just in from Central America. The Chinese have now declared on Costa Rica. Very surprised. As of yet, there are no nukes. Boom! Costa Rica has capitulated, and the nukes are still going down. President Xi is nuking a country after they have already capitulated. What kind of sick bastard would do that? China has just declared on Nicaragua. Oh, wait for it. Boom, nukes. So clever, President Xi. And boom, Nicaragua has capitulated. This just in! The Chinese army... I can't even get it out before they're nuking people. And... how can that even be fun for the Chinese army? Where is the skill in this? Breaking news in here at Brew News. An attack has been launched by the Chinese forces into El Salvador and into Guatemala. So far, though, maybe perhaps President Xi has heard my pleading to stop nuking everything. Perhaps now he's come to realize that he is only destroying himself. Oh, boom! Guatemala has capitulated without nukes. President Xi. Looks like the Chinese army is mounting its fight. Damn it, President Xi. Damn it. Damn it, damn it. El Salvador has capitulated. This just in to Brew News. Chinese have shocked the world by invading Belize. Nobody could believe it. Boom, Belize has capitulated. This just in, the Chinese have officially landed on Japanese soil. Have only used just a couple nukes to land. It was actually pretty surprising. We may finally be saying goodbye to the Japanese. And bros, I talked to President Xi. He's never going to do one of these conquests where you have to take on every world's major military ever again. The Chinese continue to advance north through Japan, as you can see by the latest satellite imagery. They have held off any other invasions of the East, the Middle East. We got a few landings in England. Got to clear that out. And they retook some territory in South America. NATO and their allies are not giving up yet. Chinese forces, with the attack power of the Chode bonus, is Swiss cheesing through the Japanese defense. Not even so easy, as a matter of fact. They are not even using nukes. As much as President Xi loves to nuke everything, even a tree, he's enjoying this. Revenge. World War II revenge. China is nearing final revenge for World War II, placing the power of the Chode upon the Japanese. We now have information as to why President Xi was not nuking Japan. There was a deal worked out where if Abe bows to the Chode, there will be no nukes used. And so, Abe saves his country. Boom! Japan has capitulated from a nuclear winter. This just in, breaking news here at Brew News. President Xi has taken his chode and now wielded it against the people of Mexico. And they are getting absolutely wrecked by the highly skilled and well-trained People's Liberation Army, trained in the technique of power of the chode. The Americans have arrived in Mexico to try to help out their allies. But let's face it, unless you're a black belt in power of the chode, it's not gonna help. You can bring, actually, let me tell you how many you can bring. You can bring 46 million people against the power of the chode and still lose. Because that's just how much of a dominating force it is. These guys who train in power of the chode, they do not need rest. They do not need to eat, drink, or even shit. These guys are 100% savages. Chinese troops are continuing to push through Mexico. I would assume once they reach the US border, they will regroup, resupply for the final push of what is left of NATO, the US, and Canada. Boom! Mexico has just capitulated. This just in, we are getting breaking news in here at Brew News. The Chinese have resupplied their panzer armies and are preparing a push into the United States and finishing off with Canada. Remember, bros, this all started. First episode. A tweet about a chode from President Xi to Donald Trump. And that is how all this got started. Let's not forget how World War III started. Now, honestly, bros, just as a common man and not a television personality, a broadcaster, I am never playing this again. I am never playing a conquest where I have to take on the entire world. It has been such shit. It has taken so long. So many hours. I have to defend every single piece of beach possible because they are landing. They have been landing everywhere. I've been able to pull some off as I've been able to control different seas and block different ports. But it's been awful. Never again will I play where I take on the entire EU and NATO. I am done with this. When I finally beat the US and Canada, I am taking my gaming PC out and I am just beating the shit out of it. That's how I'm feeling about this conquest. If you're enjoying this content, you have to be more than I am. Hit the like and subscribe. Do not forget to hit the notification bell, and I will see you back here for our next upload, the final episode of The Power of the Chode. Peace. Bruchminati out.